Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Taya Salam. This is what the show looks like. We're starting off with the UEFA Champions League. Incredible games of football we saw last night involving Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain. And it was that man on your screen, Kylian Mbappe, who produced a moment of brilliance in injury time to hand PSG a slender 1-0 win over Real Madrid. That's in the first leg of the round of 16 clash. Also on the programs too, talking about the UEFA Champions League, Manchester City produced 5-star performance in their first leg win away to Sporting in their round of 16 tie in Lisbon. Still on sport this morning, but this time around it's basketball, the NBA to be precise. Giannis Antetokounmpo scored a season-high 50 points to lead the Milwaukee Bucks past the Indiana Pacers 128 to 119. All right, so these are just the teasers for the show. There's still a lot more to come in the next 55 minutes, so try and stick with us for all the details, all the stories are coming from your amazing world of sport. I've got a guest in the house. When you see him, then you know what we're about to talk about next, definitely. I'm talking about Enefiok Udobong. Of course, if you're track and field buff or if you're track and field fan in Nigeria, you definitely know this man, this absolute legend that is beside me in the studio this morning. Good morning, Eni.
Good morning, Taya.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you.
Great
it's been a minute.
Yeah.
How's it been? How's the year been for you?
Well, it's been good. It's been good. We are happy we are getting over the COVID, I think, and sports is coming back to almost normal.
Okay, almost. I like that because we're not totally out of the woods yet. Not totally. All right. So, obviously, as you can see, it's Eni in the studio, and we're about to talk a lot of athletics. But before then, let me give you an update concerning the Maiden Lagos Athletics Assession Schools Championship, which is going to be serving off between March the 14th and the 19th at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Surulere. The championship will involve schools from Ghana and Togo, while the best schools in the 6 education divisions of Lagos will be invited to be a part of the event. The championship is children between the ages of 6 and 17. The chairman of the Lagos State Athletics Association, Solomon Alao, who aside 5 million for the project, is optimistic that Nigeria will soon produce more world champions in athletics. Let's take a listen to him now.
Our young ones need a positive avenue to expend their energies, to express their creativity, and to bring their talents to the fore. We're calling on everyone, corporate bodies, individuals, NGOs, CBOs, come and join with us. Let us build the stars of the future, and let us build the youth and give them hope. Right now, there's a lot of distrust in the society. The young ones don't trust the older generation as much. Let's show that we care, let's show that we're there for them, and let's create avenues for them to become world beaters. That's the clarion call to everyone.
Every February, at least the last 4 or 5 years, I go to Dubai after the marathon, like you said, to take a break. All I see in the mall is Nigerian runners, students from top school in Nigeria. And the good thing is that they'll be wearing the school uniform with Nigeria at the back. In Dubai, every February, you will see at least 15 to 10, minimum of 10 Nigerian schools in Dubai for this type of program.
As a former Nigerian athlete, Yusuf Ali, right there speaking on the maiden edition of the International Schools Athletics Championship, which is going to hold right here in Lagos at the Teslim Balogun Stadium. And that's what Eni is also here to talk about. Eni, let's talk about this very interesting initiative to discover new talents for Nigeria.
Oh, yes. It's an initiative to discover new talents, but also to focus on an area of our educational system which we do not focus all the time. That's targeting more or less the private primary and secondary schools. So it's going to take place ages 6 to 17. Yep. And in most of these schools, that a lot of them are interested and the parents are interested in having their children take part in extracurricular sports, but don't have a platform that they can take part in a well-organized championship-like competitions, and that's what we're trying to provide to them.
Interesting. Private schools. Are you trying to say that students or kids that go to private schools usually don't have the opportunity to express their athletics talents? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there are no platforms really. Sometimes the government always organizes competitions, but sometimes there's an apathy for the private schools to line up with the government structure and join the government schools. And they bring different reasons. Probably the syllabus is not the same, they don't have the same timing, or probably they feel that in the private school they have much older children and it can discourage the younger ones. So they have the different reasons. So we decided to align this, put it in the age group competition, get the schools together, and a lot of private schools all over the nation. It's not for Lagos.
No, Lagos.
Lagos is just the whole city. All over the nation, and a lot from other African countries like Ghana and Togo have indicated intention to compete. It's going to be like an Olympics for the kids, and we are trying to foster that friendship, bring them together, and let them know that they can compete and have dreams to become champions too.
And what's been the reaction to this incredible, amazing initiative?
It's been well received by schools. We've received lots and lots of letters. I mean, well, we're trying to limit the number of schools now that we can, because we are getting lots and lots so many of them. And it's been great. And we need to be great because the Jamaicans are doing this and the results has been there.
Yeah.
The Jamaicans have the best school championship for 1 week. And we want to replicate that. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're just stealing a successful recipe to do in our country.
Yeah, so now that you say you're having too many interest in it now, how are you going to go about sorting out the schools that are eligible to participate?
Oh, well, it's a maiden edition, so we'll try to be more accommodating. The more the merrier.
Okay.
We'll bring up the first come, first serve. The registration closes at the end of the month. So we hope the schools can meet up, that's showing intentions that they want to participate at the end of the month. And then we are also because we want it to be all students and all schools, we've decided that since Lagos is hosting, we'll go to the 6 educational districts and get the best schools from there so that we can bridge that gap of government and private schools competing together.
Indeed. The Jamaican model that you mentioned earlier, how feasible is it for Nigeria to not exactly replicate it, but tap from it?
Well, we're going to tap from it. The Jamaican model is harder to replicate because Jamaica is such a small country, and everybody has affinity to one school or the other. Right. In Nigeria, we have thousands and thousands of schools. So, but then the same thing, the talents are from there. The parents are eager to allow the kids now. When we were much younger and our parents were not much into sports, but now we see parents pushing their kids out because they've seen the success, the glamour in sports, be it athletics, football, basketball. The parents know that it's a good
it's a means of
livelihood. So that's where the target is, that a lot of parents are supporting this, and once the parents are in tune with it, the schools are in tune with it, then it's left for us to organize a perfect championship.
Yeah, that's what it is all about. And obviously, it's to discover talents. We've already mentioned the fact that it's going to be for students between the ages of 6 and 17. So it's very important to make sure you are actually getting the right set of students. I'm talking age-wise. We know the issues that we've had in this country historically when it comes to age-grade competitions.
Yes, it's important to us. And then in fairness to the nation, with the introduction of the BVNs and the NINs, we are getting to have more accurate data.
Right.
Kids are being born nowadays that have the birth certificates. Schools have the records. So we're going to go, we don't want to get mercenaries. We want to get kids in schools because education and sport must go together.
Absolutely.
We want to get kids in schools. We want to get the right ages, and we want to make sure that it's not a do or die affair.
Yeah.
While the chairman of the Lagos State Association, Athletics Association, has promised the schools prizes in excess of 5 million and so in terms of support, in terms of equipment, in terms of developmental programs. But even the kids too, we are promising scholarships, and then we also know that there are scouts from around the world that are coming to get them to get better schools, especially in the United States.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Fantastic platform for these kids to strut their stuff and perhaps catch the eyes of athletic scouts from all across the world. And you mentioned earlier as well to how difficult it is to replicate what's going on in Jamaica. It's the same thing. It's very difficult to replicate the collegiate system or the school sports system in America as well. But obviously, with initiatives like this, we can, tap on what they're doing.
We have to try. We have to try. The worst we can do is not to try at all.
Yeah, you're right. All right, Annie, I want to thank you for being a part of the program. Wishing you, as a tournament director and all the kids involved, a fantastic championship. March the 14th, that's when it starts, right?
Thank you. Yes, March the 14th to the 19th.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that's it for athletics. Let's get on with the show. Let me give you updates coming from judo, where the Nigeria Judo Federation has announced that 300 judokas from 36 states of the federation, the military and the paramilitary, as well as clubs, will feature at next week's national trials for the 2022 Commonwealth Games. The federation says the athletes will participate in 7 weight categories, which is part of its program for the Games in Birmingham. The trials will produce 14 athletes, which will represent Nigeria at the competition. The sports governing body warned that any athletes who fail to take part in the trials in Lagos will not be selected for the Commonwealth Games.
Our young ones need a positive avenue to expend.
I mean, the Commonwealth issue has caused a lot of controversies. People thinking that we have already selected a team, we are deceiving them. And I told them, as far as I'm concerned, without trial, forget about Commonwealth. Even if you are the best. Even if you are the best in the country, you don't come to that trial. There's something like I'll come and meet them in the camp. I'm a super being. No. It is the trial. Everybody will see at the trial who is fit to be in camp. And whenever we're having our final signature in the camp, we also invite the press to come and see, so that people will not come and meet you tomorrow that I was robbed. I witnessed your bout. No, you are not robbed. So everything is going to be transparent. And I'm assuring you that not only championship, my coaches, my referees, they know me very well that I don't joke with how to improve their knowledge. We're going to be having coaching course. I'm telling you categorically, by April, there's going to be referee and coaching course. Because like I said, if you are only preparing your athletes, you don't prepare update those that are training them, you are achieving nothing. Both of them should be moving at a particular realm. So I want to assure you that unnecessary things will be put in place. In fact, part of when you read my manifesto very well, I said we'll even be doing refresher courses for our media people, so that you know how to carry judo story. It is when you know how to relate judo story that will be useful to us. So we want to assure you. And then in terms of international happenings, yes. But you know, the little resources you have to manage it very well. I've been telling my athletes, there's no point sending you to tournaments that are not scoring. And when the scoring comes, you don't have money. You have wasted all the efforts. We are going to prioritize the championship. It's not because we have 10 African championships we must participate in. No. If we want to do that, you may not even participate in the important ones. And that would create problems for us.
That's Musa Oshodi right there, the president of the Nigeria Judo Federation. Let's get on with the show now. Demola Ogunbona has now joined me. And Demola, good morning. It's great to have you on the show.
Good morning, Tayo. Thanks for always having me. Yeah. Always a pleasure, to be here talking sports.
I know, awesome stuff. We're going to get to the F Champions League, to tennis, basketball later on. But before all of that, we still get updates coming from the Edo 2020 National Sports Festival, where the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has received the 20th National Sports Festival report from the local organizing committee of the competition that was in Abuja on Tuesday. The LOC was led by the chairman and deputy governor of the state, Philip Shuaibu, who thanked the federal government for the opportunity to host the country's biggest multi-sport event. Mr. Dare assured that the 500 million naira bailout promised by the federal government will be redeemed soon.
To thank the Honorable Minister and his team, and to also extend our ounce of fellowship in collaborating with the ministry, knowing fully well that whatever we do at the state level, without the national policy, there's no way we can achieve our goals. I shared with some persons, I said, if we have all our games and we have all the first and second and third. If there's no national to go, after a while, it will just die a natural death. So, Honorable Minister, we are ready to collaborate with you, and also to let you know that at any time you call on us, we will be available to give our support, to congratulate you and to thank you and the ministry and through you to the President for allowing us to host this tournament and for us to continue to work together.
The submission of your report this afternoon is a landmark event. It raises the bar and sets a higher standard, not just for other states that will host the festival, but also for the festival itself in terms of its content, its depth, its impact, and the sheer number of talents that it can produce. You will all recall that despite the initial challenges of the outbreak of COVID-19, as we were just 5 days at the doorstep of the opening ceremony when COVID-19 knocked, and we had to postpone, not just once, but twice.
As Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari.
Very interesting.
All right, let's get on with the show now. Let's quickly touch down in Nigeria, the NPFL. We've got fixtures for today, and we have them for you. We're going to run through it quickly. Starting with MFM taking on Katsina United. MFM, you know their struggles. They are pretty much fighting relegation at the moment, and they will need to get all 3 points against Katsina to start moving away from the relegation waters. We also have Kwara United versus Aimba. Aimba on the back of the disappointing draw at home on the last match day. Will go to Kwara United to see if they can get all 3 points. That's definitely a very, very tough trip for the People's Elephants. Niger Tornadoes will take on Sunshine Stars. Plateau United, one of the most informed sides in the NPFL this season. They're going to take on Shooting Stars. Promises to be very exciting. Remo Stars will take on Aqua United. Remo, on the back of losing the first game of the season, will look to bounce back with a victory over the defending champions, who no longer have their coach. Kennedy Boboye resigned a couple of days ago. There's also Wiki Tories versus Kano Pillars, as well as Dakada versus Gombe United. Demola, which of these games are you looking forward to watching?
All the games are going to be interesting. Of course, last year's winners, Aqua United, just lost their coach, Kenneth Boboye. I think, I don't know why, I hope it didn't live under acrimonious circumstances. Yeah, well, you know, he did well for them last season. But we're hearing that MFM might just be going for him. It's not clear. It's a fantastic coach. He's a proven winner. I think they have their work cut out against Smertin, Remo Stars, you know, who just lost their first game of the season. You know, Remo in third, 23 points. Aqua 8th, 17 points, 3 losses so far in the season. So it's going to be interesting. I think Remo Stars played on their own turf in front of their own fans. I think they might just make this one much needed. So
for Remo Stars, they finally lost a game. Very, very tight game, 1-0.
It was 1-0 to Gombe United. To
Gombe United. Gombe is a very tricky place to travel to.
It is.
So it'll be very, very interesting to see how they respond. I'm talking about Remo Stars. Aside from the NNL, they've started the season, they've caught everyone by surprise.
Honestly, Tyler.
And now they've lost. Very interesting to see how they react to losing a game. Are they going to still, you know, feel weighed down by that
I don't
loss?
think so. I don't think so.
Don't think so.
They've come so far so good, and their coach too, Benga Ogubote, should be proud. The players too should be proud. I'm sure now that they're playing at home in front of the fans, they will raise their game and get the necessary points that they need to move them back either to the top or to second on the log. I think it's something they can do, so I'm really hoping that they can pull that up. But it's going to be tough against reigning champions, Aqua United. They have something to prove as well. So
all right, so let's see how that one pans out between Remo Stars and Aqua United. There's also MFM Katsina United. I mentioned MFM being stuck at the bottom.
They've been struggling, Tayo. 7 points so far, 2 wins, 9 losses.
Oh,
it's incredulous, you know. But against Katsina today, Katsina are not doing, you know, they are way down there as well, 17th or thereabout. with just 13 points to show for all their efforts. I think this is an opportunity for
MFM right.
to, but they've been disappointing. You've lost like 4 matches already, at home, and that is huge for teams in the NPFL at this stage of the season when you've lost almost 4 or 5 matches already. It's massive, but they have an opportunity today to make something count for them. I wish I could go to the stadium to go watch the match later today to see what it is they are all about. I'm hoping that they can get at least a win to give them that bounce that they need. But now they're stuck 20th and just 7 points to show for their effort so far this season. Not good enough for a side as massive as MFM.
Yeah, not good at all. And it is obvious they're in survival mode right now.
They are.
Whatever it takes, of course, legally, they've got to do to get the point against Katsina United who are not faring exactly better than them as well. They're 17th on the log, 13 points from 12 games. So we'll see how that game pans out later today as well. Let's leave the NPFL. Of course, you can always join us tomorrow for a comprehensive review of these games that went down in the NPFL.
But I think Rivers is going to win, and they're playing away, no doubt, but I think they're going to win and solidify their position on that first position in the log. But it's going to be tough because they're playing away at Abia United. Abia 15th with 13 points. They'll be looking to get something of the game as well, but I think Rivers will do enough to get maximum points there.
Fingers crossed. Let's get on with the show. Let's go to the UEFA Champions League and give you results of the games that went down last night. In the blockbuster clash between PSG and Real Madrid, he ended 1-0 in favor of Paris. Kylian Mbappe with a late winner in that one. While between Sporting Lisbon and Manchester City, that game ended 5-0 in favor of the Citizen. 5-star performance in Lisbon coming from Pep Guardiola's side. Let's focus on the blockbuster clash between... Okay, let's get out the City and Sporting out of the way, Demola. City heavy favorites going into that game,
No
and
doubt.
it was good to see them, do what they were expected to do, and they got the job done.
They got the job done, but convincingly too. I wasn't expecting that much goals because Sporting to top in their league.
Second in Portuguese league.
Second or fourth, so they're about in Portuguese league. So you expected them to put up some kind of fight.
Yeah.
But it's still, with the firepower that City has,
too much quality.
too much quality in there. You expect them to win, but going there and winning 5-0, it is massive tile. 30 minutes gone, they were 3-0 down already. And Bernardo Silva had a swell time.
What a game. What a goal as well.
Foden as well. He struck that goal beautifully. I believe the keeper had no chance. Struck into the top of the bar, and then just went in. The goal by Sterling as well, beautiful goal. The quality of those goals was just, and by the 60th minute, game was all done and dusted. It was just, coasting through, and Sporting Lisbon had no chance. It's safe to say that except a miracle happened, City are through to the next round, definitely, yes.
All right, so, all Sporting have to do is just go to the Etihad and score 6 goals. That's all they have to do.
Like I mentioned, you're being cheeky there, aren't you? I don't see that happening. I think they're going to go there and get walloped as well. But fantastic 5-star performance by Manchester City.
That tie seems definitely over, unfortunately, for Sporting. Let's get the post-game thoughts of Pep Guardiola.
Absolutely. Don't misunderstand me. I'm more than delighted. I know how difficult it is competition, and 0-5 is fantastic, but today we were so clinical. I say the same, so we are not a team like defend well. You analyze individually, we are not defenders. We are so offensive team in most departments. We defend with the ball. We have to take care of the ball better than today we did it. And the margin Champions League is like, in this detail. So that's why I'm not going to hide behind the 0-5. So we make, in general, very good things, honestly.
Indeed, a lot of good things are on display from Manchester City against Sporting in Lisbon yesterday in the round of 16 clash. Let's now go to Paris. That's the game everyone is talking about, and it was all about Kylian Mbappe stepping up in injury time to give PSG a 1-0 win over Real Madrid. Demola, that game was looking like it was going to peter out into a goalless draw. Thibaut Courtois was on fire. It looked like one of those, games where you can't get past the opposition goalkeeper. Saves upon saves upon saves. Until that man stepped up, Kylian Mbappe. And what a goal it was as well. It was absolutely bamboozled. I think it was Militao and Lucas Vazquez. Yeah, it's absolutely bamboozled him. They didn't see it coming.
He has been a terror all through, Dani Carvajal, the right back for Real Madrid, had a day to forget yesterday because Kylian Mbappe was just cutting him left, right, and center right from the get-go. It was the Kylian Mbappe show yesterday. It shows that, yes, the young man is not just one for the future, it's one for the now, for the present. I mean, it's a World Cup winner as well. Yeah. He's been a proven goal scorer, fantastic clinical finisher. His pace is absolutely devastating.
Searing pace.
Madrid had no answer for him, last night. It just encompasses what the young man can do. Yeah. And the goal is scored at the last minute. The last kick, of the game was just a crowning glory for Kylian Mbappe. Fantastic performance. And Lionel Messi missing. What you mentioned is a goalkeeper for Real Madrid, Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah.
Fantastic performance. Lionel Messi missing that penalty there. And I think Pochettino, of course, when you have a player the caliber of Neymar on the bench, what do you expect? He comes in, made a whole lot of difference, gave the pass for a flick,
nice
back pass
flick
to Mbappe. And then he just ran through the Madrid defenders and
ran through. I like that because that's what it seemed like. It was like a ghost move, and it was. Before you knew it, it was 1v1 with Thibaut Courtois. Nutmegs the goalkeeper.
Sad for Madrid, but I think at the end of the day, PSG yesterday were the better side.
No doubt.
No doubt about it. I think the fact that Mbappe was, the striker for Real Madrid now, Karim Benzema, was just coming after missing a few matches. He wasn't really sharp yesterday.
Not sharp, yeah.
And Vinicius just kept going to the ground. I don't know why he kept going to the ground and expecting that the referee would blow. You're playing away at the Parc des Princes in front of crazy, massive fans, and you were just going like a pack of cards on the floor. The referee wasn't going to give you any free kick or anything, onwards.
Celebrations.
Massive win for them.
Yeah, but the thing about our Paris fans is, the way they celebrate these victories, just imagine what it's going to be like, what it's going to feel like when they eventually win. The Holy Grail. That's the Champions League. It's going to be crazy.
Absolutely.
Because, anyways, congratulations to PSG. This tie is certainly not over.
It's absolutely not. Absolutely.
Carlo Ancelotti's come out in his post-match presser to admit that they didn't play well enough and they didn't really deserve much from the game. But it's promising that it's going to be a totally different ball game in the second leg. So we'll see how that one pans out. In the meantime, Paris fans, they can keep celebrating and see if they've done enough to get into the quarterfinals. We're still talking about the UEFA Champions League. Games will go down today as well too. We're going to see Inter Milan taking on Liverpool. That seems to be the star match of the day in the round of 16. There's also Bayern Munich taking on Salzburg of Austria. And those two games, you have to say, Liverpool, Inter, is the much more complicated one.
Of course, the peak of the of the bunch today. It's going to be interesting to see how Jurgen Klopp is going to play against Inter Milan.
Set his team up against Inter.
Inter Milan to have been brilliant. They're top in the league in Italian Serie A. Dzeko is a man reborn. Eden Dzeko, that is. Lautaro Martinez as well.
It's slotted in nicely for Lukaku.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I respect the player a lot, right from his days at Manchester City.
Kind of underrated, right?
For me, he doesn't get his credit. Yeah. Even going to Roma, scoring goals for them for fun, and now he's slotted in beautifully for Lukaku after he left for Chelsea. He's scoring the goals for Inter Milan, and they're top of the league right now. But I think they have their work cut out against a very, very high-pressing Jurgen Klopp, gang football.
Liverpool are in great form as well.
They have Salah back, they have Mane back. Jota has been scoring for fun ever since Mane and Salah were in there, and they got a new guy now. I've forgotten his name now. From Porto.
Diaz.
Yeah. You could see his quality as well shining through, and the midfield is so compact. The goalkeeping department, Van Dijk is playing like a man who hasn't gone away for long. Despite all his injury worries, he's back now, stronger, better. Yeah. So I think that the match is going to be won whichever defense can withstand, because both teams have good arsenal, scoring goals and going forward. But the defense and how the defensive line, shapes up.
Yeah.
And defense win you games, if they can
and
defend
championships as well too.
Exactly.
Defense wins you everything pretty much in sports, football, basketball, name it all. Jurgen Klopp hasn't spoken ahead of today's game.
A good situation to have, no doubt about that, but I don't know how often do I have to say that. It's much more important how we play than who is playing. So that's how it is. But it helps, of course, that we have options for different and solutions for different problems, or options for different situations. So and that's what we try to use, of course, as well. We need fresh legs for this game, but much more important is that we have the chance to change 5 times in the game, which gives just a massive boost for football in general in a really tough period of the year. This Inter is an absolute top class team, top class players, top class manager. But last year, with all respect to other teams, I think it's probably the best team this year again in Italy. Can see that in the table in a moment, but they look really rock solid. They have creativity on the pitch. They are very good organized, very well drilled, everything what they do, and the individual quality is big. So that's Champions League, no doubt about that. It's a top class team, and we need to show a top class performance to even have a chance. But why shouldn't we try?
Should be a very fascinating matchup between Jurgen Klopp and Simeone Inzaghi in the dugout for Inter Milan. The other game for tonight is between Bayern and Salzburg, and Bayern on the back of losing, surprisingly, against Bochum over the weekend. We'll be looking, to put that behind them and get what a lot of people feel should be a very convincing first leg lead.
Absolutely, Tayo. I mean, their defense leaves much to be desired. Of course, no team wants to face a very good Bayern Munich side on their day. They are absolutely devastating.
I mean,
but I think they've had worries.
Group.
Yes, but they've had worries with their defensive, shape.
Yeah.
Julian Nagelsmann has to do much better. I don't think Neuer will be around for tonight's game. I think injury or thereabout. I'm not so sure. But losing against Bochum, lowly Bochum, in the German Bundesliga. First half, 4-0 Tayo. That's
incredible.
For it is incredible, Tayo. Bayern Munich should not be found in such positions. But then they lost. I don't know if it's false pretense against tonight's opponent. Salzburg, who have been devastating as well. They're really, really good.
Very solid
They play
side.
good football. Very solid, Tayo.
Yeah.
And there's a young man there in their team, Karim Adeyemi.
Yeah, we've got a couple of Nigerian interests in that one.
Absolutely.
Players to watch out for.
No, I think it's played for Germany already.
Yeah, but it's still Nigerian.
He's Nigerian. I think tonight's game too will be like for him to show off his talent for his prospective,
the
employers
potential
in
suitors
Bayern
out there
Munich.
ready for him.
Yes.
We're here is on his way to Dortmund or something like that.
Bayern too are in the mix, so
Bayern in the mix as well.
He's a very fantastic, footballer. So I'm hoping that he can shine tonight and sell his self.
How do you see this one playing now? Bayern to get the win, despite of their defensive frailties that you've talked about.
I'm sure the coach will do something about the defensive lineup, but I think going forward.
No
No Neuer, but I think going forward, I think
they should have enough firepower.
Of course, absolutely. Lewandowski, Sergio Gnabry, the list is endless.
Thomas
Müller and Sani as well. So yeah, I think they should have more than enough to go through.
All right, so fingers crossed, the Bayern versus Salzburg tonight, and of course the big one between Inter Milan and Liverpool. We need to go on a break now. When we come back, it's going to be all about the National Basketball Association. Join us again. You're welcome back. Before we look at the games that went down in the NBA this morning, let's go to England and talk about the Premiership match, or the Premier League match that went down between Manchester United and Brighton. Manchester United returning to winning ways after a couple of draws, 2-0 over Brighton. And it's a win for the Red Devils. But once again, United were unconvincing in their play, despite playing against 10 men for long periods. They still struggled. But I guess for United right now, it's all about getting the points in the bag. It's no longer talks about playing the United way, like they used to say. Right, get the wins and move up the table and try and finish in the top 4 spots.
It was a nervy performance by Manchester United yesterday. Brighton gave them a good run for their money.
Absolutely.
Despite going a man down as early as, as early as 54th minute, it was dunk, which I don't think should have been a sending off. Rather, I don't think should have been a sending off. Really, I don't understand why.
The referees,
but the referee decided to give it a red.
A goal scoring
he had to go consult the VAR to But that being said, I think United were very, very shaky. Of course, Ronaldo gave them that
fantastic opener,
and it kind of calmed their nerves.
Yeah.
But you could tell that even after going 1 man down, the way Brighton played, they played like, they had nothing to lose. You expect Manchester United to just close the game, and
impose themselves.
Exactly. But you could see the nervousness, and you can more or less, see why that was, because they've had so many draws from winning positions. They've gone on to lose or drop points, and winning 1-0, and they weren't so convincing. They weren't so sure until the very last kick of the game, where Bruno Fernandes made it more or less, comfortable win for them.
That was the last kick of the game, and that's how United wrapped up 3 points against Brighton. Is enough to see them go into the top 4 position, and that's their target for the rest of the season. It's time to talk about the NBA. Games went down this morning. We have all the results for you, starting with the Cavs taking on the Hawks in the 124-116 in favor of Atlanta. Trae Young, 41 points in that victory. Elsewhere, the Miami Heat, they were defeated by the Dallas Mavericks, 107-99. Five Mavericks, including Luka Doncic, scored in double figures in that victory, and that's how they were able to snap the 5-game winning streak of Miami. The Boston Celtics absolutely annihilated the Philadelphia 76ers, 135-87. Jaylen Brown, 26 of his 29 points coming in the first half. It was a very fantastic win for Boston indeed. That game also saw the introduction, just before the game, we saw the introduction of James Harden. I will talk about that later on the show. Let's move on to the Pacers and the Bucks. This is definitely our featured match. The Bucks prevailed 128-119. Giannis was just too much in this game. It was simply sensational. We'll be talking about his performance shortly. Elsewhere, there were wins for the Timberwolves. Karl Anthony Towns with 39 points in their victory over the Charlotte Hornets, while the New Orleans Pelicans, they lost against the Memphis Grizzlies. Tyus Jones scoring a career-high 27 points to go with 9 assists in that victory for Memphis. And last but not the least, the best team in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns, is still very hot. The Phoenix is still rising. They defeated the LA Clippers 103-96. Devin Booker with game-high 26 points. Chris Paul added 17 in that victory. All right, let's focus on the Bucks and the Pacers, and that's the game where Giannis absolutely went haywire.
It was on beast,
50 points.
It was on beast mode yesterday.
Beast mode, I like that.
After missing, the last game because of a sore left ankle, he came back yesterday, massive 50 points. It was just 2 off his career best of 52 points versus Sixers on March 17, 2019, where he scored 52 points. And it was his first 50 since clinching game of last season's NBA Finals, where he scored 50 points as well. It just showed how hungry he was after missing that game that they lost against the Portland Trail Blazers. Fantastic performance by Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, they call him.
He's a freak. That's why they call him the freak. Incredible, 17 of 21 shots. That's what he made to score 50 points in that game. That's the 4th fewest shots made in a 50-point game. Take a bow wherever you are. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's get his post-game thoughts. We're also going to listen to Jordan Nwora of the D-Tigers as well.
No. Usually, like, when you have a game like this, you're good in the second half. Like, you make a lot of shots, make free throws. But like, when you start the game, you don't know you're going to go for 50. You're just trying to play the game the right way, try to put your teammates in positions that can be successful, try to be aggressive. And there's some nights that you're going to make a couple shots. and you're able to get 50. But at the end of the day, like all I care about is that I was able to enjoy the game, from start to finish. We're able to get a win.
What's going through my head is, damn, like it's different, it's special seeing it in person. What's really crazy about it is he makes it look so easy. Like he's like barely sweating. I'm looking at him after, I think I looked at him when he scored his 50th point. The crowd's cheering, and it's like, man, like he's barely sweating. Like still full energy in the locker room after he does it. It's part of it, being one of the greatest ever to play. So, he's going to keep getting better. He's still improving, and hopefully he can just keep going.
They don't call him the Greek freak for nothing. Even Jordan Nwora right there marveling at the performance of Giannis Antetokounmpo, a player who's played with for the past couple of seasons. Before we leave the NBA, let's take a look at the top performers, the standout players for their team. Some on the winning side, some on the losing side. Of course, Giannis was on the winning side, 50 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists for the Bucks. Next up is CJ McCollum. Still strange seeing him in the Pelicans jersey, but it is what it is. 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists for CJ McCollum. Darius Garland, 30 points, 2 rebounds, and 8 assists for the Cavs in their loss, unfortunately, to the Hawks. Karl Anthony Towns, what a performance, monster. 39, 15, and 3 for the Timberwolves in their victory over the Charlotte Hornets. And last but not the least is Trae Young, 41, 3, and 9 for the Hawks in the victory over the Cavs. All right, so that's it for the NBA. Let's take a look at the papers before we close the show. We've got Sporting Life, Complete Sports, and Sporting Sun. Let's start with Complete Sports, or Sporting Life, rather. Sporting Life, Pinnick, Eguavoin, Amunike meets Eagles stars in London. Iheanacho, Etebo, Trust, others vow to pick World Cup tickets, and Darry makes Zoom call with over 30 players. So it's all about, everything is geared towards the match against Ghana
in March,
and I guess they're living it.
I like the
no
fact
stone
that
unturned.
yes, I like the fact that they're getting to foster good relationship and camaraderie between themselves,
Yeah.
the coaching staff and the players as well, and it is all geared towards one mission: getting that ticket to the World Cup. So yes, good what they're doing.
You like this, right?
Absolutely, Tyler.
Okay, West Ham, Crystal Palace, Lille interested in signing Ola Aina. There's also Rangers to sell Aribo for 2.8 billion naira. We also have, of course, the stories concerning the UEFA Champions League. Mbappe scoring late winner against Real Madrid. Ronaldo spares Rannick's blushes in that 2-0 win over Brighton. Zaghi, Reds are favourites. That's talking about Liverpool ahead of their game against Inter Milan later tonight. Let's go to Complete Sports. That's our next paper for review. Eagles have enough weapons to beat Ghana. That's according to Unduka Ugbade. Demola, enough weapons, right?
Absolutely. It is.
Okay. Eagles vow to reach 2022 World Cup. Of course, that's the target for all Nigerians. Onuachi guns for 15th league goal of the season. All the best to Paul. Onuachi, it's good to see him overcome his injuries. Zola backs Osimhen's Napoli to beat Barca. That's definitely the glamour tie of the Europa League next round. Barca, Napoli. But
It is 2 ball playing sides. I'm looking forward to see our star man there, Osimhen, doing what he knows how to do best. It's going to be a tough one, definitely.
Definitely, indeed. The last paper for a review is Sporting Sun. And FIFA makes 2-year ban of Nigeria's, okay, that's a very, very sad story. Right there, misses penalty. Mbappe rescues PSG. Champions League stories as well. Inter misses Korea for Reds clash. There's also stories concerning Mikel Arteta. Arteta plans number 9 role for Martinelli. I don't know what Arsenal fans think about that, because maybe it's just for this season, but because eventually Arsenal need to get a replacement for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Yeah, I think Martinelli will, slot in perfectly. I like the young man.
For the long term?
Yes, I think I like
really?
him. Absolutely tired.
Wow.
Yes, despite the fact that it went almost a year with injury, coming back, I think it's a fantastic talent.
Yes,
if he gets very good side kicks, service from the side in Bukayo Saka or Odegaard or Smith Rowe, I think yes, he can fit in. Yeah, absolutely.
That's interesting.
Absolutely.
So Arsenal shouldn't go for a striker in the summer.
Of course they should.
That's what I'm
for
saying.
Competition. Yeah.
Still on Sporting, some PSG offers Pogba a lucrative salary. So it looks like the future of Pogba might not just be at Old Trafford. Yet to sign a new deal.
Surprising that he was on the bench for yesterday's game.
The coach has talked about him just coming back from injury, so obviously doesn't want to burden him with too much game time at the moment. Leicester coach Rodgers faces sack. Really?
The results have not been convincing.
It's been a bad season.
I don't know what's happening to them so far this season, but
sacking him though.
Sacking him, I think that's just too way off. I think he's a fantastic coach, and they should let him see how the season will, pan out.
All right, so that's it for the papers as well. Demola, I want to thank you for being a part of the show. As always, appreciate your analysis.
Thank you very much.
And insight as always.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salam.